And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We got Mike Murphy back in studio with us. Murphy Auto Group back in studio. And Mike, give us a little teaser of what we're going to talk about today, my friend.
Ooh, today's a great day. We're going to be talking about how all month long we're loving on Law Enforcement Appreciation Month. So anybody in law enforcement or first responders, we're doing an amazing deal for you. We're going to talk about the Orlando Storm's last home game, first place in the UFL, test your ass for tickets, and so much more.
Yeah, I love it, man. Good stuff going on. And interesting, too, I want to have the conversation around, when gas prices go up, you've talked about that complete car ownership and, kind of weighing everything in. So we'll talk about that as well. And then also Chinese car ban. I wanted to get some insights from you. You recently had a lunch with a senator, was it? And talking about, kind of the effects of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a lunch with Senator Morano, who is and was a car dealer. Does a lot of great things to protect consumers from the bad car guys out there, and while still supporting the good car guys. What's interesting is he talked about specifically a ban on China cars. How China entering the automotive retail market in America, one, jeopardizes a lot of our data and our information, but also it's an unfair playing field with their total cost of labor ownership and getting land for free and all those other issues. So what's interesting is everybody says, oh, BYD's not coming, some of the other large Chinese makers aren't. What I'm curious about is what does that mean for Volvo?
BYD?
Yeah, that's like their Toyota. That's their number one car brand over there. They make great product. I just don't want to see them on my roads. Yeah,
exactly. Hey, you're America first over here. I want to promote American jobs, American cars and companies, and people that are doing the the manufacturing, majority of the manufacturing, because that's another misnomer, right? You can have companies that are based in another country, but as long as they're manufactured and assembled here, they still get some type of credit for that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, as long as vehicles are assembled here in the United States, there is a net effect on tariffs.
Right.
So vehicles that are not only built but assembled and then shipped in have the highest effect of the tax. So
yeah, the tariff
it's tough,
breaks.
Right? So the tariff tax is affecting some Toyotas different than other Toyotas. It affects really where your car is made, not where the company's based.
And hasn't there been a resurgence in southern states, some of the manufacturing, right? I think we talked about that.
100%. What you see a lot, if not solely, which is the free market playing out, is as these traditionally international companies are coming to build their vehicles here in the United States, they're picking right-to-work states, which are predominantly in the South, which protects them from unionization of their shop, which you would think means they pay their people less. It just doesn't. They're paying competitive wages. It just means they're not funding all the other programs that come with, like the large unions.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an example of capitalism, right? It's a free market. So the more that you limit those, which you find that more in the North, right? And so that's interesting to see. We'll dive more into that. Mike Murphy, he's our auto industry expert. Murphy Auto Group, mymiracleadvantage.com. You can find them online there, as well as Tampa Bay, Genesis of Tampa Bay, that is, here in Tampa Bay, Genesis of Tampa Bay. Also, Lonnie Veasley coming up also later on the program, Tampa Bay A&M Advisors. He's our business transfer specialist, all things buying a business, selling a business, investing in businesses, putting that valuation number on businesses. So we'll talk with him here as well. All right, a couple of hot listings. We like to feature our real estate properties on air. As you know, my wife Lindsay and I own a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay. 6085 Bahia Del Mar Boulevard. Beautiful listing here in St. Petersburg. Check out the beautiful photography here, drone photography showing the pool, the clubhouse. You're overlooking the waterway. I mean, you're on an island here. This is beautiful property. Bahia Del Mar Boulevard South, number 106. This is a 1145 square feet, quarter-acre lot, ground floor, corner unit condo, just minutes from the sugar sand beaches of St. Pete and Paso Grill, St. Pete Beach, Paso Grill. First floor access, fully furnished, turnkey residence. Weekly rentals are permitted. 6085 Bahia Del Mar Boulevard South, number 106. Beautiful listing right here in Tampa Bay. Pinellas County representing here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's take a look at 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee. We got a business for sale. This is a $3 million property. This is 3/4 of an acre, well-established waterfront business, irreplaceable real estate on the Weeki Wachee River, direct access to the Gulf, multiple income streams coming in. You have a Suzuki Servicer, which is an established motorboat repair business right here up in Weeki Wachee, Florida, home of the Mermaids. Waterfront property, multiple income streams, 7154 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
And yeah, I'm racing like after those saving our ass overseas.
That's right. Shout out to our veterans out there. Shout out to all of our active military across the globe protecting the homeland, and sometimes you do it across the pond there and other markets. But and then also looks like Cuba might be on the list of the hit list here lately, the Trump administration hit list. But and shout out to Gray Bull as well, Gray Bull Rescue. I know you guys do a lot and help them tremendously, Mike.
Yeah, Gray Bull Rescue is an amazing organization. I've been lucky to be part of it for a long time as a donor, unfortunately, maybe fortunately, as a rescuee, and now I'm on some of their ops, which is a blessing. But the biggest thing that I help Gray Bull with is what we can all help with, which is fundraising. Gray Bull Rescue is 100% donor funded, and getting back from the last stint in the Middle East as the war in Iran began, we've racked up some debt. We need everybody's help to pay that back. So much so, the United Football League, Spring Football, has teamed up with Miracle Toyota and Murphy Auto Group to honor Gray Bull Rescue this Friday at the Storm's last home game. We'll be presenting them with a big check. Don't tell Brian. And then they'll be at FanFest before the game, so you can meet all of our heroes. And truly, I say heroes, but they're like superheroes. Like Brian and his team is the equivalent of real-life superheroes. So come out, thank the great guys. And then Gray Bull and I teamed up to take 100 new Marine recruits to the game also. So the game's in Orlando, first place Storm in UFL, and we're going to be raising money for Gray Bull Rescue.
Nice. That's awesome, man. So giving a shout-out to the military there at the Storm game. Those are fun games, right?
Oh, it's a blast. We're playing great. If we remember Jake Plummer from the Broncos, his son Jack is our quarterback, leading the league in passing yards.
Cool.
You got a couple Florida Gators out there playing wide receiver. You got a bunch of UCF players, a couple guys on the line. It's really fun football. It's clean football. It's so much better than college. And it truly is like AAA football in the sense that it's better tape than you can see anywhere but the NFL. It includes, in my opinion, Canadian football also.
Yeah, you got to get the film footage, got to get it out to the coaches, got to prove yourself, show what you can do. These kids today are bigger, faster, stronger, right? I mean, It's just amazing to see some of these athletes. Are they making a salary? Are they getting paid a stipend?
They get paid well, but it's still an amazingly affordable product, right?
Okay.
If you think about taking your family to an NFL game, you're out hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
A 4-pack of tickets to Orlando Storm game plus food and everything is less than $100. Tickets range between $10 to $25. Beers are like very affordable in that $4 or $5 range.
Yeah.
They even have a $15 ticket special that is a ticket and a beer.
There you go.
So it's a great way to get your family in to see live football where the NFL has priced the average person out of attendance.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's switch back to the car industry here. Mike Murphy, our auto industry expert. What have you seen? And when you talk about rising fuel costs right now, and essentially, I think what we did with Venezuela, how we're stacking the deck in a lot of different areas, we're going to see that relief soon. It's kind of one of those short-term for the short-term pain for long-term gain, right? But essentially, where do you see things going, and how does it affect the audience?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's feeling the pain at the pump. I filled up my GV80 on the way here, and I got to $80 and still wasn't full. And I'm like, that's just absolutely amazing. How does the average person do it? I do not know. But there's a couple of hacks. Number one, now's a great time to trade your car in on something that's significantly more fuel efficient. Mm-hmm. The average car on the road gets 25 miles a gallon.
Okay.
The average new Camry, driven aggressively by yours truly, gets 50 miles a gallon.
How many?
50.
Wow.
50. So you think about taking your gas bill and cutting it in half.
Yeah.
That is an amazing amount of savings. I was just trying to do the math here. But if you drove 500 miles a week or 26,000 a year, and you got 25 miles a gallon, you're buying 1,040 gallons of gas. What do you want to call it? $5 gas?
Mm-hmm.
So you're spending somewhere around $5,200 a year in gas. Or in a new Camry, you'd be spending half that, and you'd be saving $2,500, $2,600 a year. $2,600 a year divided by 12 is a couple $100 a month in savings. Even if your payment went up 30, 40, $50, you can't afford now to buy a new car.
Yeah.
Times that with at Miracle Toyota and Genesis of Tampa, 90 days until your first payment.
Yeah.
Going a couple months without a car payment wouldn't hurt either, would it?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you get that benefit. What are you seeing on the insurances? Are insurances still kind of moderate, or have they?
You know
gone
what's
up
interesting? In the state of Florida, and shout out to Murphy Family Insurance that my uncle owns and I invested in. So this is all state-specific data, is flat year over year over year. Mm-hmm. Now, the lack of a hurricane season was helpful. Some state law was modified to help lower the cost of automotive insurance. So the cost of insuring your vehicle is going to stay flat year over year over year, which is great news when everything else is going up, quite frankly.
Sure. Yeah, it is. No, that's great. And then, we talked earlier about that total cost of ownership. Is that where you start thinking about, a hybrid and then some of those models that you have as well?
Absolutely. So let's just talk about a hybrid. Pick your favorite hybrid. Let's go with maybe a RAV4 hybrid that grabs 45, 48 miles a gallon. When we talk total cost of ownership, here's what I want the listeners to be thinking about. 1, what's your car payment? 2, what's your monthly gas payment? 3, what's your monthly car insurance? Assuming you do factory recommended maintenance, like everybody does, wink, wink, nod, nod, what's your spending on maintenance on a monthly basis? So I take your average, divide by 12. You've got XM radio and roadside assistance. All those things add up to a very healthy penny to drive your vehicle. At Miracle Toyota and Genesis of Tampa, you've got 4 years of complimentary maintenance. You got 2 years of XM radio, multiple years of roadside assistance, a superior vehicle from an MPG point of view, and obviously insurance stays flat. And your payment should, with the rates reducing in our industry, should be very similar to what you're paying now.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's great. It seems like a really good way to do it. That hybrid model seems like a pretty good winner there. What about the China effect? We saw last week with Trump taking that long trip overseas and, bringing the crew with him. What was the whole thing? Marco had a jumpsuit on. Did you catch that?
Yeah, it looked like the same.
It's like the Maduro suit. Like, what's going on, man? A little pre-flight intimidation or something.
I don't know, but is Rubio becoming like the new cool kid on Capitol Hill?
Pretty popular, it seems.
The memes are hilarious.
Yeah.
He took over the job as the Easter Bunny, had me in tears laughing. What job is he not doing? Right?
Yeah.
Now he's gonna have to go put Cuba back together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm amazed with how fast China's came and how far they've came with their product.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, they're building a great car. We just don't want to compete with them because they're not going to play fair. They're not going to come into our market and compete on a level playing field. They're going to take our data, take our technology, reverse engineer it. They get their land for free, their labor practically for free. And unless we want to destroy the middle class, Chinese vehicles need to stay out of the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And they got all these coal plants over there, building new coal plants, and yet we had the Green New scam going on over here in America. Luckily, that took a big hit last week. There's been a lot of news about that. Because I guess we hit the markers where a lot of these, cities were supposed to be underwater and all that stuff. But, it's interesting to see, man, how this all plays out. But, and then back in the, the early 2000s, kind of the Clinton years, I think it was, they were the most favored nation. We were propping them up. We were, I say we, the world economy, essentially. Then you had, some of the other things that were terrible for America, like the Trans-Pacific Partnership, some of these other, and essentially we allowed them to become what they become. And now we're kind of finally, with Trump back in office, it's kind of like, hey, we're back in the lead. We're taking charge. We're gonna shut down these things over here. And I remember what's the effects too of Venezuela. I remember some of your family members were really happy with that, and how's that now? 3 months later?
Everybody's still trying to figure out who's in charge.
There you go.
So you've got people in charge, but then you got the faces that say they're in charge. So there's a renormalization. The market is back open. You've got commercial flights leaving the United States flying into Caracas. I know we've had assets inside Caracas. The fastest growth for the entire South American economy is how fast you get the oil fields of Venezuela back up and running.
Right.
The net effect of this neighboring countries like Colombia and you add in a Brazilian market that needs a little bit of stimulus at the moment with a socialist lean left government.
Yep.
It's amazingly important. And the fact is, if you remember when we went and we were supposed to be ending the war in Ukraine and Alaska with Trump and Putin.
Yep.
What is the only thing that happened out of that was 46 cargo ships leaving Venezuela.
Yeah.
Back to Russia.
Right.
So we don't really appreciate how close our enemy was to the homeland.
Yeah.
Not to mention there's new reports out, and this is not unconfidential information, but Cuba has already talked about their drone fleet. They've got over 300 drones that can reach Key West.
Yeah.
So if and when that happens, I think that'll be more CIA than it would be traditional kinetic warfare.
Right.
But we're really good at both, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there, and I wonder what Florida's government would do too. I mean, I think Ronnie D's kind of on top of that too from the SOCOM or whatever. But we got to take a quick break here. Mike Murphy in studio with us. College, high school grads. We've got some incentives from Murphy Auto Group there, as well as we'll talk a little Bucks football too. The Bucks drafted well. We'll discuss some of those picks here. Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show. Follow at Real Mike Murphy as well. You can check him out online. He's got My Miracle Advantage also as well. Quick break, right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. All right, let me tell you about my friends at Bayview Paints Plus, top-tier window, solar panel, and gutter cleaning, Christian company with godly morals. Find them on Yelp, Facebook, and Instagram at Bayview Paints Plus, or call 813-917-1894. Window cleaning, solar panels, gutter cleaning at Bayview Paints Plus, 813-917-1894.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals, and Mike Murphy's helping you win in your auto deals. And I've been passing the word out there. Did a great job with my wife's trade. Your team treated us well, awesome, and just amazing. So I can say from firsthand experience, first-class operation, and we really appreciate that. And we're able to get a really nice vehicle, bigger vehicle, more room is what we were looking for, and our payment actually went down. So the team did a great job for us. We appreciate that. Mike Murphy in studio with me, Murphy Auto Group, mymiracleadvantage.com. You can find all his info on our website as well, consumerqb.com. We're going to talk about the Bucks a little bit, and also high school grads, college grads have a unique special offer from Murphy Auto Group here coming up. Before we do, I want to let you know about a couple of our listings here that we've got. 13451 Hampton Park Court in Fort Myers, Florida. This is down in southwest Florida, close to the beaches over there. You got a 322 here, 1883 square feet, just under a quarter-acre lot. A lot of natural lighting coming through. You're on a waterfront here. You got a lake with a water feature, got a nice fountain there. Lots of recent updates on this home. This home offers it all. You've got the stainless steel appliances. 13451 Hampton Park Court in Fort Myers, Florida. Right there in Gateway's exceptional amenities. You got clubhouse, fitness center, resort-style pool, and just a short drive to Southwest Florida's stunning Gulf beaches right there in beautiful Southwest Florida. We also have 443 Foxdale Road, Lake Placid, Florida. This is a home in Lake Placid, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 14 square feet, just under a quarter-acre lot. You got an open floor plan, large windows, lots of natural lighting coming through, generous-sized kitchen, spacious rooms as well, and that metal roof is going to last you quite a while. Check out this one at 443 Foxdale Road, Lake Placid, Florida. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com, and you can see all of our radio, TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
She ain't prejudice, he's just made in America.
All right, Mike Murphy back in studio with us. Yeah, so you got you're saying you got the recent college grads, going to kind of give them a little bonus, give them a little.
Yeah, 'tis the season, right? It's the grad season.
Yeah.
Most car dealerships have a small program, couple $100 off from the factory. Toyota and Genesis both have amazing deals. We are going to double those deals, so college graduates are going to receive $1,000 off. So you take our most aggressive pricing online. You go to our website, grab that price, take $1,000 off that because you just graduated college. Also, if you just graduated high school, there's $500 you qualify for. Now, that's just at Murphy Auto Group dealerships. That is subsidized by Murphy Auto Group, so you can't go to our competitors and get that. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Most people get a new vehicle after one of those amazing accomplishments, and that's new to them. It could still be a pre-owned vehicle, too, so new or used on the lot.
I love that. That's a good incentive. And then a little sports talk here. So you like the Bucks draft? You think Bucks did pretty good in it?
Yeah. So, I mean, consider the source, right? I'm a Miami Hurricane. Keontae Scott is a steal. That man is a ball hawk. His field speed is even faster than his track speed. Ruben Bain is a disruptor. We haven't had a defensive end get over 10 sacks since I was in high school. That's a true story. It's been kind of amazing. So you think Yarby coming back, you put a Ruben Bain. I think this defense is revamped. It reminds me of the good old days. And with Baker Bacon, I think it's a very, very fun time. Can you believe it's already been 102 days since the Super Bowl?
Wow.
Yeah,
flying by.
That's why I've got the football itch so bad, and that's why all the dealerships are doing test drives for tickets. So test drives for tickets is come test drive anything at any of our dealerships. You can get 4 tickets to the last Orlando Storm game. A last regular season Storm game, because your first place Orlando Storm of the UFL will be getting a playoff game. So that's
very
exciting.
cool. I love that. And you mentioned that stat for the last player to have 10 sacks since you were in high school. Who was that player? Was it you talking about like Simeon Rice or from the Bucks or from the Hurricanes?
I believe it was 2001. So it was the last Tampa Bay Buccaneer to have over 10 sacks.
Okay, so
last Buck
could have been maybe. I'm guessing maybe like a Warren Sapp, maybe a. Who was that bigger interior guy that they got that transferred out? He went to Detroit. Was that Nduka, Umbika? Yeah, so a lot of good athletes. And then the receiving core. Hopefully we're good. We're going to be good there with Mike leaving. I think that's a lot of concern.
Mike. Hurst coming out of I believe Georgia State, but one of those guys that fell under the radar, a lot like a Jerry Rice or Terrell Owens that played inferior talent in college, but this guy's going to ball out.
Which one?
NFL. Hurst.
Okay.
Like a 4'4", 6'4" kind of guy.
Yeah.
So much so that don't be surprised if Mbuka continues to play in the slot as like more of a slot receiver, and the true axe is our rookie.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then Godwin, obviously, we've got an opportunity.
Have you seen Will's Pirate Bus? We got the TampaPiratebus.com. We're working with the Bucks, hopefully, to be able to bring underprivileged children to the games. But it's decked out just like the Pirate Bus. And we did a little trip this last weekend. It was fun.
Very cool.
Tampa's only Pirate Bus. So that's the kind of the theme there for your little bar hopping on the weekend. All right, cool. Mike Murphy, check him out online. Real M Murphy. You got MyMiracleAdvantage.com and Genesis of Tampa Bay. Mike Murphy, thanks for coming in.
Absolutely. Great to be here.
All right, coming up, Lonnie Veasley, Tampa Bay A&M Advisors. He's our business transfer specialist, business broker. Going to talk about those businesses coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
1.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back, Consumer Quarterback Show. Lonnie Veasley joining us in studio, Tampa Bay M&A Advisors. He's our business transfer specialist, a.k.a. business broker. He can help you buy a business, sell a business, put a valuation on a business. We'll talk with him here coming up as well on the program. And interesting story, southern cities dominate rankings of best job markets. We'll talk about the two that come to mind here coming up here on the program. I like to feature my listings on air. It's part of a strategy. So if you're selling a property, we're going to get you more exposure, maximize the profit on the sale. It's part of our goal and our strategy is to help sellers win in their expertise as far as the marketing strategy. 100 East Shell Point Road, Ruskin. Beautiful listing. This one's in Hillsborough County. You are right off the main drag there. 6,758 square feet, mixed use, half-acre lot, RTC zoning, 2-story commercial/residential building. You got a recent renovation that was completed. Income streams coming in already. So you do have some tenants in place. Great opportunity to buy real estate. Could be, lots of opportunity here. You got residential rental, retail, commercial rental, office space, creative studios, galleries, mixed-use concepts, or short-term rentals. One-of-a-kind property really stands out. It's a rare gem in Ruskin's landscape. 6,700 square feet, 100 East Shell Point Road, Ruskin, Florida. Another beautiful commercial property from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Let's take a look at 2488 Del Rio Way in Dunedin. This is one of my favorite listings. Beautiful property here. It's 2488 square feet, and it's a 321, 1407 square feet, just under quarter-acre lot, remodeled to perfection inside and out. Impact windows, fenced-in backyard. You got the artificial turf there in the back as well. Lots of the lighter colors on the interior. Beautiful property here. 2488 Del Rio Way, Dunedin, Florida. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
All right, Lonnie Veasley back in studio with us, man. What's new in your world? How things going?
It's going good. The market's still hot, still selling businesses. Got different types of things coming up. Online business where it's pretty much absentee owner, works about 2 hours a week.
Wow.
Fence company, different types of construction companies looking at, and big manufacturing company, 30,000 square feet of space. So, yeah, the market's still hot. A lot of people are still selling, but it is a little tougher though to going through more businesses now to find ones that are sellable already. Just bankruptcies are up, and found out this morning. Or found out, the gentleman, he's a bankruptcy attorney. He said, Tampa is one of the leading nations in Chapter 11. So. Oh,
really?
So you just got to work harder to find the good deals, but there's still a lot of good businesses out there to sell.
So is that an opportunity then for buyers when a company goes through a Chapter 11? Is that the reorganization of the business? Is the Chapter 11? Is that?
Yeah, if there's a way for them to, if the business is still, making a profit, maybe they didn't handle their finances properly. There's still an opportunity. There's turnaround companies out there too that buy up companies.
Yeah, it would seem that some of them may fit that perfect little area where you had maybe mismanagement or bad manager, maybe employee theft or divorce situations a lot of times, right? But the business still has the core functionality still there. So maybe a good manager or a better operator could come in and turn it around, right?
Yeah, definitely. I may have to look it up again. I did some research during COVID. I didn't know what happened during, what was going to happen during those 2 months we were shut down. And actually, I had a great year. I had, I've said half of what I do is kind of construction related, and a lot of people were tired of looking at their homes. So a lot of the construction industry really blew up out here. But there's this thing I started looking into it, and then, like I said, it didn't really affect me too bad. But I guess it's called Article Z. It's kind of a way you can buy a business, kind of like a short sale.
Oh, that's cool.
So there might be that coming up. I don't know, but I didn't ever hear anything about it. We all thought in the industry that we're trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah,
thought we may have to go this route, but it never really got that bad here, at least in Florida.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of an interesting niche. And speaking of niches, you had mentioned before on some of the shows, some of the hottest niches that you see as far as folks that are looking to exit a business, sell a business? What are some of your top, niches out there? What are you seeing?
I mean, the construction is definitely good, but the HV, AC, and plumbing and electric, those are still good. The home services that everyone wants to consolidate it. The private equity companies or the bigger companies, if they're doing HV, they want to get into plumbing and vice versa.
Yep.
A lot of private equity companies right now, for some reason, they're gobbling up a lot of the car where you do I'm drawing a blank on it.
Carvana or one of those models?
No, where they do the like collision work. Collision repair shops. There for some reason.
Huh.
That's the hot thing right now for the private equity companies.
Yeah, I bet you there's a lot of money to be made on the recycling side of the damaged vehicles. Because if they're close, or if there's any kind of bent frame, they'll just say, it's totaled, and then so there's got to be a little bit of money on the backside somewhere. They're making money. Maybe they're making a little bit from insurance, a little bit from reselling those to the metal yards.
Definitely, they definitely do well. The ones that I've dealt with over the years do well. A lot of the automotive haven't been, at least the smaller ones. I don't know why. Maybe cars are lasting longer. Oil changes. It used to be 3,000 miles. Now it's like 5, 6, 8,000 miles.
Yeah,
it seems like they're struggling more. But the collision shops that I've seen seem to be doing well. And it's hard to the paint booth. It's hard to get a permit and everything to start a new one. So it's easy to just buy one, so you're grandfathered in.
On the painting side, yeah. A lot of bad drivers, maybe. I don't know.
Tampa Bay,
some bad drivers.
We got a lot
especially this time of year, because you have, it seems you see this all the time. Like when it comes into the rainy season, you have all this, tire residue or maybe oil dripping, gas, on the roads, and then that it mixes with that water for the first couple times when a rainy season hits. I think you see more like collisions from that. Drivers losing their.
I don't know. They hit
the brakes too hard.
Yeah, it's strange. When I first moved here in 2002, I couldn't understand people. They drive slower when it's raining in other states. I mean, I mainly lived in warm weather states, but I did live in Oklahoma for 4.5 years, and like out there when it's snowing, people drive faster and crazier out there. It's like the opposite.
Get me home. I got to get to my heater, I guess. Yeah. We were having a little bit of a conversation earlier too about some of these sites, because there's actually a story that I looked at. It was $55.5 billion. eBay has turned down a $55.5 billion takeover proposal from video game retailer GameStop. And then, one of the reactions was, man, I didn't realize Amazon or eBay is worth $55 billion still, right?
I didn't think so after Amazon. I mean, they were the big boy on the block years ago, but I figured they weren't worth $1 billion, but maybe they're still doing well for someone to offer them $55 billion. I mean, they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's markets where Amazon can't service. I don't know, because it's an international company, right? I mean, when you're on the web, so maybe there's doing a lot in Central America or somewhere that Amazon's not getting to. But yeah, speaking of those guys too, like you'll have a small seller that enters the market. They go on the big guy's site, and then next thing you know, they're like, hey, he's making a pretty high profit margin. Why don't we just replicate and duplicate and kick him off our platform or tax him to death, right? I mean, I've seen those stories or heard those stories, those exposés, those investigative journalist style stories on those, right?
Yeah, I mean, my parents, they were, they retired or anything, but they were doing Amazon, I don't know how many years ago, 5 or 6, just to make extra money, and they would, I don't know, the stuff they were doing, they had some kind of private label sauce or something like that, and they said, Amazon took it, or they made their own, and
reverse engineered.
Obviously they can sell it for cheaper. So they pretty much got out of business after a little while. They got tired of that happening to their products.
There's a nice little niche for some people to have there, where I had a friend that he would buy knives for like 25 cents, go out and turn around and resell those same knives because they were certain brand or certain style or quality, and sell them for $55 or whatever it was. So you have a huge percentage markup. But there's niches there to be looked at, right, in that business world.
If you're good at looking up that kind of stuff, if you can find something somewhere cheap, I was told someone that did the Amazon business, we talked about it earlier, you can find a lamp or something like that here at your local, TJ Maxx or something like that,
right,
for $15. Put it on eBay or put it on Amazon, and someone from Portland, because a lot of stuff's regional.
Yeah.
Someone in Portland will pay $65 for it because it's not there.
Right.
I'm not good at that. I'm good at, you want to sell your business, but I'm not good at all the products and stuff like that, trying to find.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. So if somebody's, going to be selling a business, where's my mindset need to be? What do I need to be considering and thinking about if I'm, kind of to that point where I'm thinking about selling a business?
Well, you want to make sure you have, everything lined up as far as a training manual. Can the business run without me, or is there something, I can leave to definitely teach them? But clean financials is the first thing. You want to show profit. A lot of these business owners, especially the smaller ones that are under 10 million, a lot of them are not trying to pay as much taxes as possible, and that's great. But when you go to sell your business, you need to show profit, because that's what the buyers want to look at, especially if someone wants to use the bank, SBA financing, they want to see a profit. So those are the key things. And then there's a whole lot of things you want to look at. Obviously spruce up the place, and make sure if you have clients, make sure not one client's more than 10 or 15% of your business, because that'll hurt the sellability of the business and the valuation of the business as well.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, but clean books and records is like number one. And then, do you have a team? Do you have a manager? Do you have a supervisor?
Do you have something that's easily transferable too? I know we look at systems and models with Keller Williams Realty. It's a lot about systems and models, and how easily could let's say I wanted to open up my exact office in Orlando or whatever the next market would be for you. So if you can do that, and you can have video library of here's your here's how you utilize the MLS, or post a property on Crexy or CoStar, right, or LoopNet, right? You look at those different ways. But we're talking with Lonnie Veasley here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Tampa Bay M&A Advisors, business transfer specialist. TampaBay-MA.com is his site. And I wanted to get to this story also. This is interesting when you look at where are the jobs moving, where are the college graduates going. Southern cities dominate the rankings of best job markets for college grads, and you look at where are they moving to? What's the new study? So ADP, they do a fair amount of computing and statistics because they're probably the largest payroll company in the country, right? I would assume. But their new study finds that Birmingham, Alabama, and Tampa, Florida are at the top of the list of graduation destinations for fresh graduates embarking on new careers. The ADP study compares the 53 largest metro areas in the United States based on hiring, wages, affordability for workers in their 20s with college degrees. Birmingham was in the 85th or higher percentile in wages, affordability, and hiring, while Tampa was buoyed by topping the rankings in hiring despite middling scores for wages and affordability. So I guess, less wages and affordability, but still, in the mention for best cities, southern cities that dominate rankings for best job markets for college graduates. Your thoughts on that, Lonnie? That's
real good. I mean, Tampa's still booming and growing. I read a report a couple weeks ago in the Wall Street Journal that people are still moving here. I don't know if we were number 2 or 3, but I think South Carolina is number 1 now, and then us in Texas were number 2, and then Tampa was the top spot for Florida.
Yeah, depending on where they get the data, right? And who did the survey or how many people were called and polled on that. But yeah, it's interesting to see, right? I know Miami has 50 billionaires there now, man.
Yep, we talked about that in the last show.
50 billionaires, wow. Yeah. It's huge, right?
That's because the tax savings, Bezos and all that stuff.
Yeah, huge.
They're all from California. Was it Larry Page or whatever? The guy
from
Google, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerbucks. You got all of them.
Get out of San Francisco.
Ken, the guy in New York too. Ken, the big billionaire up there that Mondani did that video about him. He moved his company Citadel, or he's moving his companies in the process. His partners are like, nope, you came after us too hard here, and we're gonna leave your dystopian city, and we're gonna go to Miami. We're gonna go to the free state of Miami, where you go down and get a little sand in your boots. You got nice weekend vibes there, and what a great place for employees, I would imagine too, right?
Oh yeah, lots of work out here. Lots of work out. I just found out that the Cuban sandwich was created in Tampa.
Yeah, Cuban sandwich.
I didn't know. Yeah, the guy that owns the Columbia was speaking on a Rotary and gave us all the history. I guess they're the oldest restaurant in Florida, but he was saying that, and I do know pretty good about history, but not about a Cuban history. He said there's no Cubans in Cuba in the 50s. They were the ones that actually invented the Cuban sandwich.
Nice. I like that. That's pretty cool, man. It's a good sandwich here.
Oh yeah,
it's a good sandwich. Nice little mustard on there. You got the pickles, the pork.
Yeah,
a little ham on there, I believe, some cheese. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
Put it in your lunch pail, especially if you're going out fishing for the day. You got a sandwich in the bag there in the cooler. All right, Lonnie, quick break right back. When we come back, more on buying a business, selling a business, also a little bit more about the valuation of the business here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Lonnie Veasley, our guest here. He's our expert contributor, all things buying, selling businesses. If you're thinking about it, reach out. We'd love to put you in touch. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation, aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online, willsmithaviation.com. That's willsmithaviation.com, or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at DavidReynoldsJewelryandCoin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Helping you win. Lonnie Veasley in studio with us. He's our business broker, expert contributor here on the show. If you're buying a business, selling a business, or want to get a valuation on a business, we'll put you in touch with Lonnie. Always featuring our listings on air, 6374 Boatyard Drive, Hudson. We got a vacant piece of land here, parcel of land on the Gulf. You have access to the Gulf of America, 6374 Boatyard, 0.37 acres. It's one of the largest waterfront buildings in the area. Building lots, that is, 176 feet of brand new concrete seawall, boat ramp that was recently redone. Nestled on a quiet boating and golf cart friendly community. Build your dream home right here in Hudson, Florida. Beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, 9901 Bay Drive, Gibsonton, Florida. One of my favorite listings right now. This is a gorgeous waterfront home, access to the Gulf. And you have 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square feet, quarter-acre lot. And you're on the end of a dead-end road, no through traffic. You have a covered boat dock right here in your backyard, access to the Gulf. 135 feet of river frontage, extra space and views, vaulted ceilings, natural lighting. 9901 Bay Drive, Gibsonton, Florida. You can see all of our listings online at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. And you can see all of our radio, TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
And yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, Lonnie, there's some interesting stuff in the news too, man. I was looking at this story where Gary Vaynerchuk's on it, and you're talking about the rise of analog is among the most fascinating business trends in the world. So analog phones, just the old school phone, making a comeback here. What do you think about that? What's your thoughts around, the old smartphone, a new smartphone versus a dumb phone?
Yeah, I've heard that's happening, especially like movie stars in the last 2-3 years. I guess it's harder to hack those phones, and
right.
It might be good for everybody. We're always on our phones, and it
Yeah.
does everything now.
Take a break from it.
Yeah, and my old degree was computer science. I do love technology, but sometimes I don't know. You take some things and not some things, but sometimes I say, man, it would have been good to stop.
Positive,
like
yeah.
98 or something like that, or 2000 when the internet was a little faster.
Yeah,
but it's I enjoyed the 80s. When we didn't have this stuff, I remember how things were. It seems like time was slower.
It did. Time slowed down.
It's just everything's fast because everybody can call you. You can't hide anymore. Just want to get away.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but no, not everyone's going to go to that thing. Some people will use their phone as their computer and everything.
Yeah, and I think there's a niche there for teenagers too. Get the especially the younger teenagers. Give them a dumb phone instead of a smartphone.
An analog business, though. What is he talking about? Cell phone?
I guess selling those phones. Yeah, having because now they're in more demand. It just
are they making new ones, or are they just refurbishing the old ones?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, but that's it's kind of interesting too. I saw a story where the old dial phones or punch button phones. There's always a market for stuff, right? So they would sell those down to Central Florida or Central America, sorry, and so there's a niche for the old vehicles that are recycled. I think. Kind of like Cuba, that's what they have down there. A lot of the old style, American muscle cars,
Oh, yeah.
Or Chevys and stuff. What about AI? How's AI affecting your business? What are you seeing with AI or data centers? What's your thoughts there?
For us, it just saves us time. I don't know what it's going to do to the industry. They say no, it's not going to go anywhere because it's so much, a touch thing with people and negotiating. But it does help us out with saving time. We have a system now where I can scan in the financials. I don't have to enter them in, or I don't have to have an assistant enter them in. Buyers inquire on a business. I don't have to, or my assistant doesn't have to send an email like, hey, we need the NDA, proof of funds. The system automatically sends the NDA, sends the proof of funds. Once that's verified through the system, it sends them, we call it the SIM, but it's pretty much a marketing package on the business that explains everything, pictures, financials, everything like that. So
that's great.
It saves time.
Yeah, streamline the business, streamline the process. You got these automated answering, style AI bots too. There's so many applications for it.
Yeah, definitely. I think the marketing companies. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm seeing a lot of this. You don't need, and I'm actually going to meet with someone soon about them. As far as AI does everything for you. You kind of plan it, so definitely affecting everything.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I don't want the AI data centers here. I don't want them in Florida, man. I just think it's too much of a strain on the power grid, the water supply. If you're living close to one of those things, you got the noise pollution. So I just not. There's some benefit there, but we got to put them in the colder climates or whatever because they run so hot. Let's put them up north somewhere.
Yeah.
Keep them out of Florida.
Do they have them here now? A lot down here?
Well, there's one slated for the East Coast. I think that's the first one that I've seen. There's been a lot of talk about that one over in the East Coast. I forgot what county that was, but and then DeSantis has a Bill of Rights, AI Bill of Rights that he's either got through or pushing through. So it'll be interesting to see. The other thing we're keeping an eye on is the property taxes relief for primary residences. That'll be interesting to see too.
Definitely.
How that plays out. So,
Well.
How can people connect with you, Lonnie?
They can obviously go to the website, email us, phone number 727-238-4074.
Say that number one more time.
727-238-4074.
Tampa Bay-MA.com.
Correct.
Tampa Bay-MA.com. And Lonnie Veasley, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you for having me again. Always enjoy it.
Hey, my pleasure. And we had Mike Murphy on the front end, Murphy Auto Group, Genesis of Tampa Bay. And you can find him online as well. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.
You talking about the video?